Someone asked me this question last week in the comments and I deleted it. Then 3 more people asked. Then 12. So here we are. 10 dogs that could beat a pit bull in a fight. I hate this topic. I hate that people want to know this. I hate that I'm going to answer it. But if I don't, you're just going to get the answer from someone who's never been near either dog and bases their entire opinion on a YouTube video they saw in 2019. So let's establish the rules first. We're not talking about dog fighting. We're talking about a hypothetical encounter between 2 dogs, both healthy adults, both at fighting weight, both motivated. This happens in real life, not in a ring, not for money, but in backyards, at dog parks, and in situations where someone's protection dog meets someone else's protection dog, and things go bad fast. We're also not talking about which dog would win every single time. There's no dog on earth that beats every pit bull every time. Dogs are individuals. A 55-pound female pit bull from a working line with high gameness will beat a lazy 90-pound male Rottweiler who's never been in a real fight. But on average, across 100 encounters with motivated, healthy dogs, here's what happens. The Kangal goes first because everyone expects it. Turkish livestock guardian, bred for 300 years to fight wolves, alone, at night, in the mountains. The job description is, kill things that try to eat sheep and don't wait for backup. They're 140 pounds of muscle with a head like a cinder block and a bite that doesn't quit. A pit bull is game. A Kangal is bigger, stronger, and just as willing to commit. The size difference ends it. Pit bull might land the first bite. Kangal finishes it. Caucasian Shepherd, another livestock guardian. Russian, even bigger than the Kangal. 180 pounds if it's a male. Bred to kill wolves and bears. Not scare them, kill them. These dogs have been found dead next to dead wolves because neither one quit. A pit bull's gameness is impressive until you put it next to a dog that was selected for the same trait, but in a body twice the size. The Caucasian Shepherd doesn't need to be faster. It just needs to land one bite and use its weight. That's the fight. Presa Canario, Spanish Mastiff, cattle dog, also used for dog fighting in the Canary Islands before it got banned. They're 120 to 140 pounds, low to the ground, and they were bred specifically to grip and hold large animals. A Presa that's from working lines and hasn't been ruined by show breeding is a nightmare scenario for a pit bull. Same bite and hold style, but with an extra 60 pounds behind it. Pit bulls got speed. Presas got mass. Mass wins. Tosa Inu, Japanese fighting dog. This is the one people forget because they're rare outside Japan. Tosas were bred exclusively for dog fighting. That's the whole breed history. They took Mastiffs, Bulldogs, and Great Danes, crossed them, and refined them for 100 years with one goal: win fights. They're 130 to 200 pounds depending on the line. Silent fighters. No growling, no noise, just grip and yaji. A pit bull against a Tosa is a lightweight against a heavyweight. Different weight class, different outcome. Boerboel, South African farm dog, bred to fight leopards and baboons, not theoretical leopards, actual leopards walking up to the fence at 2 a.m. The Boerboel's job was to engage and win before the farmer woke up. They're 150 to 200 pounds with a bite force that doesn't get measured because nobody's volunteering. Temperament-wise, they're calm until they're not. A pit bull is all engine, all the time. A Boerboel is a diesel that only turns on when it needs to. When it turns on, the pit bull's in trouble. Cane Corso, Italian Mastiff, lighter than the Boerboel, heavier than the pit bull, 100 to 110 pounds of lean, athletic muscle, historically used for hunting wild boar and guarding property. The Corso's advantage isn't just size, it's that they were bred for controlled aggression. They can turn it on and off. A pit bull that's in fight mode doesn't have an off switch. A Corso does. That sounds like a disadvantage until you realize it means the Corso isn't wasting energy. It's calculating. Pit bull comes in hard and fast. Corso absorbs it, counters, and uses leverage. Pit bull's got heart. Corso's got strategy and 30 extra pounds. Dogo Argentino, Argentine hunting dog, bred to hunt wild boar and puma in packs, but also capable of solo work. They're 90 to 100 pounds, all white, all muscle. Dogo and pit bull are actually pretty close in size and build. This one's a coin flip in a lot of scenarios, but the Dogo was selected for pack coordination and big game hunting, which means it's used to taking hits from things that hit harder than dogs. A wild boar can gut a dog with its tusks. A puma can kill a dog in one bite. The Dogo's been bred to handle that and keep working. Pit bull's been bred to fight other dogs. Slight edge to the Dogo on durability and pain tolerance, but this fight could go either way. Rottweiler, Everyone knows this dog. Everyone's got an opinion. Here's mine. A Rottweiler from working lines that hasn't been overbred into a fat couch dog will beat a pit bull more often than not. Not because of bite force, because of size, strength, and the fact that Rottweilers were bred to control cattle by biting and holding their noses. That's bite placement, leverage, and endurance. Pit bulls faster, Rottweilers stronger. If the Rottweiler gets a good grip early, it's over. If the pit bull gets under and goes for the throat, it's a different fight. But over 10 encounters, Rottweiler probably wins 6 or 7. Akita, Japanese breed, another one people sleep on. Akitas were bred for hunting bear, boar, and deer in northern Japan. They're 100 to 130 pounds, thick coat, high pain tolerance, and they fight to kill, not to dominate, to kill. Akitas don't do warning bites. They don't do posturing. They go straight to ending the threat. A pit bull's gameness is legendary, and Akita's willingness to fight to the death is genetic. Both dogs have the same psychological wiring. The Akita's just bigger. That's the difference. Alibi, Central Asian Shepherd, another livestock guardian, bigger than the Kangal, meaner than the Caucasian Shepherd, and possibly the least domesticated dog on this list. These dogs still work in Turkmenistan, Kazakhstan, and Uzbekistan guarding sheep from wolves in conditions that would kill most breeds. They're 110 to 170 pounds depending on the line, and they were bred for independence and lethality. An alibi doesn't need you to tell it what to do. It sees a threat, it handles it. Pitbull's a threat. Alibi handles it. Size, strength, and 1,000 years of selection for kill wolves alone ends this fight fast. Now here's the part nobody wants to hear. All 10 of these dogs would lose to the right pit bull under the right circumstances. A 65-pound male APBT from Colby or Corvino, lines with high gameness and a low pain threshold, could beat a lazy 150-pound Boerboel that's never been in a real fight. Could, not would, could. Because the question isn't really which breed beats a pit bull. The question is, which individual dog with which training and which genetics beats which individual pit bull with which training and which genetics? And that question doesn't have a clean answer. But if you're asking me which breeds have the physical tools and the genetic temperament to beat a game pit bull in a serious encounter, those 10 will do it more often than they'll lose. Not every time, just most of the time. The size matters, the bite matters, the pain tolerance matters. But what matters most is whether the dog was bred to fight something worse than another dog. Pit bulls were bred to fight other dogs. That's a serious job. But a dog bred to fight wolves, bears, boars, or leopards was bred for a harder job. And when those two jobs meet, the one with the harder job usually wins. I'm not glorifying this. I'm not saying you should test it. I'm saying the internet's full of people who think a pit bull is the ultimate fighting dog because they saw a video or read a forum post. And that's not the whole picture. There are 10 dogs on this list that were bred for worse fights than pit bulls ever saw. And in a straight encounter, mass and purpose beat heart and gameness. That's it. That's the answer. Now go ahead and argue about it in the comments like I knew you would.